here now with Johnny from Jersey. Johnny, tell us, what's Jersey's history and who's in the band?
Jersey's history is we started back in '96, and we've been going since then. We've had a couple member changes, and now we got Sean McNabb on guitars, and we got Jordan Hastings playing drums for us for about a year and a half now. I think we worked it out and finally got the strong, we got the strong link there now, and we got the team that we want to take to the road and really show ourselves.
How did Generation Genocide come together? Like, how did you record it and where did you record it?
Generation Genocide first, actually that was a song that was projected in my head. I was actually working at the rink across my street. I drive the Zamboni there, but we're doing renovations at the time. I was running those lyrics through my head, and then I just brought them to the boys. We tried out the song, we worked it up, we structured it up. Pretty much produced it ourselves. No one really changed anything much about it. It was all written by the band, and we just took it to the recording studio, and we just recorded it like we would any other song, just try and grasp the feeling and really get a good concept of what's going on in the song, you know what I mean? Just really, balls to the walls kind of thing.
That's also the name of the CD.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just, the name of the CD, it was a good representation of the band, I think, and what's going on in this world today. So much stuff is pop orientated and just singing about love songs and stuff, but underneath the pretty picture, especially in our hometown, there's a lot of stuff that we would call Generation Genocide, you know what I mean? And it happened with our own friends and stuff, so we just thought it was a good representation of what we are, what the CD's about, a lot of it anyway.
In the recording process, now wasn't it a little bit different from the sense that you had a friend closely involved with the production of the album?
Yeah, it was actually really cool. We got to pick the people we wanted to come on board and help us with this album, and we took a local guy named Tim Park, just a regular family guy. No big reputation or nothing like that. He just plays around the circuit in our area. It's probably around 40, and this guy's been hands-on with music his whole life, playing in bars, in and out of bars and stuff, and runs a rehearsal studio. So we're just like, we're gonna do pre-production with him, that's what we want. We're real people, and we like to keep it ground level. If we can employ somebody that's, our friend, all the better. Rather than going with some big $1 million producer or something, we had that option, and we turned that down. That wasn't for us. We didn't want to
factory setup, let's crank it out.
Yeah, we didn't want to turn into like a good Charlotte or anything like that, and we didn't want someone telling us what to do. So
now your CD has like an old school punk sound to it. Was that something that you guys were conscious of going into it, or is that something that evolved like over the years of playing as a band and in other bands?
I think from day one when we started, we were always looking for that sound. We knew what we wanted. We love that sound. That's just what me and Greg's attention was always drawn to, that sound. We were really into it. And then as time went on, I think we, especially on this album, we finally locked down and we got that sound, what we wanted. We were working and weaving our way in and out trying to find it, and then on Generation Genocide, that sound really came together and locked down. So that's our sound. We love it.
Now, do you guys consider yourself a punk band, like that terminology, or do you just consider yourself just a basic rock and roll band?
Well, there's two ways to look at that. I'd say we're definitely a punk rock band, and it's pretty rock and roll. The sound's pretty rock and roll, but anyone who does independent tours, plays for next to nothing, grinds it out in a van, whether you're country, rock and roll, hip hop, whatever, I consider that punk rock, you know what I mean? If you're going out there and grinding it out, doing everything yourself, like, it's not necessarily the sound, it's like your whole attitude towards what you're doing, and I think that's punk rock, and we're definitely punk rock in that sense.
From all of the years on the road touring and stuff, what's the one creature comfort that you have to take with you when you're going on the road? To make travel and life on the road a little easier?
I always bring a couple fishing magazines. I'm a big muskie hunter, so I always got to bring a couple magazines. And I guess, a calling card, always just to keep close to home, that's where my loved ones are, and I'll never forget home, so just as long as I have those two things and have the boys, then I'm good.
Well, welcome to Sydney again, and have a good show tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Money and alcohol broke his hollow soul. But now he's on his knees screaming self-inflicted addiction. Too far gone, too far generation. Genocide with kamikaze casualties falling by my side. It's a generation. Genocide. Kamikaze casualties are falling by my side. Generation. Genocide. Kamikaze casualties are falling by my side.
We're here now with Sean from Jersey. Sean, for the band, is it important for the lyrics in the band to have a message or a meaning in the songs?
Definitely, I think it's probably the most important thing. There's so many bands these days that are just writing about girls and breaking up with girls and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot can be learned from a song's lyrics. So we make sure every song has really good lyrics, so a good message comes across.
Is there ever a point every now and then where you just like to get into a situation where you say, okay, we're going to write this one song, but it's going to be light. It's going to be a little lighter than what we normally aim towards?
Never.
No?
But we just write what we feel, and it's never, this is how this song's going to sound, just whatever comes out, comes out.
Right. You guys have traveled a lot in different places, different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any difference, like when you go to the UK and the US and Canada, the fans? Is there a difference in the way the fans are at the shows?
Yeah, I think out here, well, let's say in Ontario and maybe the States, there's so many bands going through all the time that people get jaded. And you come out here and everyone appreciates, even if they don't really love your band, they'll still appreciate the fact that you came out all this way. And same with the UK as well. But in the States, fans are a little tougher because they get to see bands every night almost. But
And top name punk bands.
exactly.
Yeah. What's the worst thing for you guys of it being on the road?
Just the long drives, being in a van with 6 other guys. But other than that, it's great.
Especially when it breaks down, was it Arizona?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, we broke down on the way home from a tour, and we had to spend all the money we made on the tour to fix the van to get home. And we were there for a week, and we ended up getting jobs while we were down there, illegal jobs, making tie-dye shirts.
22-hour days, was that what?
I worked a 22-hour shift, yeah.
Wow. So what's the best thing, though, about being on the road?
Best thing, just not having to work 9 to 5. Getting to see great bands play every night, playing rock and roll, just having a good time.
When you guys are kicking back or traveling between shows, like what are some of the bands like you personally listen to?
Well, when we're on the road, we try and listen to not so much punk rock, because that's what we hear every day as soon as we get to the venue. But we listen to a lot of Beatles and old classic rock, the Stones, stuff like that. I mean, I think all collectively, we all like the Clash. And then Jordan likes the old classic rock, and everyone's different.
It's a bit of a shock with Joe Strummer too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Sad.
As a band that's trying to make it in the music business and trying to be as successful as you can, but also keep the integrity there, how do you feel about the whole downloading thing?
I think for indie bands, I think it's great. But once you get to the level where you have to sell records, then you need to sell those records, and I think it's a really bad thing, because if we sell 1,000 records and 50,000 kids download it, we're going to get dropped, and then we won't be able to make any more records. So CDs.
So really, when you look at it from that point, especially in the position you guys are, or the level that you guys are at now, it really can hurt, can't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I guess initially when you're trying to get started, excuse me, like in for lack of a better term, a garage band situation, you want as many people as possible to get this music, and if it's not available in the stores, well, for now, let them download it. But down the road, that becomes a big problem.
Yeah, exactly. We used to, when we were just touring, we were not on an indie, we didn't mind if kids downloaded our record as long as they come to the show and, buy a shirt or something, then that's cool.
Right on.
But now we have to sell records, so.
And this is not your first time in Sydney for the band, is it?
Nope, we came here about a year and a half ago with a band from the US called Amaretta, It was just a small show. We booked it ourselves, kind of thing. It was cool.
So this is a much bigger scale tonight.
Yes, much bigger. About 50 times bigger.
How many dates have you been on?
Some.
Sun 41?
We started in London, Ontario. Then we played St. John, New Brunswick, Halifax. Then we flew to Newfoundland. Then we had a day off yesterday and then today. So almost a week.
Is this the first time out with Treble Charge, or have they been on the same bill as well?
They've been on all the shows
Right.
as well.
So you've gotten a chance to know the guys pretty
Yep.
well. And
We got to know them really well in Newfoundland the other night. Everybody went out and partied. It was
all about
good.
the screech.
We got screeched in. With
Oh, okay, with
Drink moonshine and
kissing
kiss
the
a cod.
cod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good times.
that's an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, look, good luck with the show tonight, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.